It's the greatest TV drama format in the world.
It is entertaining, it is dramatic, it is funny, it is sad, and it is visually a feast.
It is part of our heritage, and I think it's just great entertainment.
In 1963, the first episode of the world's most successful TV drama was broadcast.
Doctor Who is in the DNA of British society.
It's a programme that is made by people who love the show.
I'm Russell Tovey, and I'll be presenting this special programme featuring archive clips, but also new interviews from many of the cast and crew.
It's ingenious, really, because you're not bound by logic or time or place or space or genre.
Who is the Doctor? Part of our 1963 season. Tonight from 10:30.
On BBC Radio 2.
Hi, I'm on the blue desert plains of Metabilis 3. And I'm at the Battle of Culloden. And I'm in wartime London. And I'm supposed to turn into a gas mask. And I'm on top of the pops. Because welcome to the
I see where others stumble blind.
Blaggers Guide to Doctor Who! 50 years ago, television producer Sidney Newman went into a meeting at the BBC and said,
"Hello. I've got an idea for a show."
Is it for a soap opera with a realistic East End of London setting, except everyone's miserable all of the time?
No.
Is it a game show where famous singers sit backwards and swivel round when they hear a good singer?
No.
Is it like the Muppets? Only not the Muppets, except it is really?
Or the Muppets.
Never mind. What is your idea?
Well, I see that science and science fiction are all the rage.
That's right. Since Yuri Gagarin became the first man in space in April of this year, science fiction has become hugely popular.
Which is why I think we should do a science fiction show for children.
Marvelous. Is it about a young man who, aided by 2 droids and a princess, uses a mythic force to free the galaxy from an evil empire, policed by his own father?
No.
Is it about a spaceship crew's 5-year mission to seek new civilizations and life forms in a diverse universe?
No.
Then what is it about?
It's about an old man who lives in a phone box.
A phone box?
A police phone box.
Police phone box? Genius.
We'll take 798 episodes. Thank you.
There has never been a show like Doctor Who. Impress your friends with this.
Blagger's science fiction fact.
Where 1950s sci-fi was all about sleek silver rockets, BEMs, that's bug-eyed monsters to you and me, screaming girls with goldfish bowls on their heads.
Why ever did I put that on my head in the first place?
Oh, Jennings.
50s sci-fi, yes, rooted in a world of American macho space adventure. British sci-fi was a creepier affair, from John Wyndham's Day of the Triffids.
Hello? Hello? I can't see anything. Oh well. Better get out of this garden centre.
To the Quatermass series, which mixed good old English witchcraft with nameless horrors from space.
It's a hideous monster!
It came from space!
It's killing us!
I've got a name, you know. Wait, no, I haven't. Carry on.
Doctor Who took this Britishness one step further. The hero isn't a thrustingly jawed athlete called Flash Chinhue or Jet Jutjaw. He's an old man. A bad-tempered old man. And he doesn't have a sleek silver rocket. He has a phone box.
A police phone box.
Yes, all right, don't build your part. And this phone box, which is really a machine for travelling in time and space, doesn't even work properly. And the Doctor didn't travel with a platoon of space marines or a funny alien.
Master?
Shut up, Tintits. He travelled with his granddaughter, Susan.
Hello?
And 2 teachers called Ian and Barbara.
Hello.
His granddaughter. And 2 teachers. This isn't the Doctor Destroyer of Worlds with his brave companions. It's a bunch of people on a camping holiday in the Lake District.
Susan, get down from there!
The first episode of Doctor Who, An Unearthly Child, was transmitted on 23rd of November, 1963.
Between Lady Chatterley's lover and the Beatles' first LP.
In it, Ian and Barbara...
Hello.
meet the Doctor and Susan and travel back to the Stone Age, where two warring tribes have lost the secret of making fire.
Well, Ugg, where did you last have it, Ugg? If I knew that, Ugg, I'd be able to find it, Ugg, wouldn't I? I'm only trying to help, Ugg. You don't have to bite my head off, Ugg.
The episode was well received, despite going out...
Blagger's historical fact.
...the day after President Kennedy was assassinated, starting a long tradition of Doctor Who series premieres following a presidential assassination attempt.
My mellow Thurkins.
And now, a new series of Doctor Who.
And despite the first serial having as its original working title...
The Tribe of Gum.
It was the second story in the serial that changed everything, because that introduced the...
Exterminate!
Not yet.
Sorry, love. My bad.
Yeah, thanks. Because the second story introduced the greatest screen baddies in the history of television. No. The most enduring science fiction monsters ever created. No! I am referring, of course, to the...
Oh, God. Sorry.
Daleks!
Exterminate!
Quick, behind this sofa!
Thank you. Ironically, the BBC had at first been reluctant to introduce proper monsters into Doctor Who, seeking to avoid sensationalism and people enjoying themselves. They'd hoped to get a 50-year run of a kids' sci-fi show off the back of some people dressed as Incas trying to get a fire started. But the introduction of the Daleks changed all that and gave the world, yes, the world, Who-mania!
Welcome to our beautiful land.
Please to enjoy our ethnic folk tunes.
Who-mania. Not Roo. Anyway, it was clear enough in the script. Who-mania swept the world at the same time as...
Rhyme-binding, Blagger's swinging 60s fact. Shagtastic.
Beatlemania. Impress your BBC 4 watching friend with these comparative stats. Both the Beatles and Doctor Who enjoyed cinematic spin-offs. The Beatles with... and Doctor Who with 2 movies starring Peter... Cushing and Bernard...
Right, said Fred.
Cribbins, who would of course turn up in 21st century telly Doctor Who as Wilf Mott and would be rescued by the Doctor in a move that essentially destroyed him as Wilf was in a radioactive cabinet.
Deeply hot.
I don't want to go! Brilliant! Also, both the Beatles and Doctor Who appeared in the wake of the Kennedy assassination.
I did not have sexual relations with them. My cigar!
And then there were the tribute records. The Beatles had...
All I want for Christmas is a Beatle.
But Doctor Who had...
I'm gonna spend my Christmas with the Daleks.
And...
Who's Doctor Who?
And...
It's who? It's Doctor Who, of course.
And even... John Pertwee from the Navy Lark there, with a whir after the E and a whir after the O. The Beatles and Who are unique cornerstones of popular culture, but the genius of Doctor Who was another simple twist of fate. After the first Doctor, William Hartnell, became too ill to continue in the role, the producers decided to replace him. Not with another old man with white hair and a bad temper.
Susan, get down from there!
But a completely different actor altogether.
Say, get down from there!
The somewhat scary William Hartnell was replaced by Patrick Troughton, whose anarchic attitude, air of whimsy and sense of fair play pretty much drew the template for all future Doctors. But just as importantly, Doctor Who could now go on forever.
Act
Actually, Master, the Doctor can only regenerate 13 times, as it says in 1976's The Deadly Assassin.
Shut up, Tin Tits. We'll come on to that. All other sci-fi shows have had to replace their lead characters.
Captain, the Romulans have launched a missile strike.
Say what? You'll have to speak up.
The Romulans have launched a missile strike.
Sometimes not for the better.
I am your father.
No, you're not.
But only Doctor Who
And James Bond.
and James Bond
And Sherlock.
and Sherlock Holmes can regenerate. Oh, and the Beatles.
The Beatles! The Beatles!
Speak to us, the Beatles.
Why? They are regenerating.
But they're changing.
Different and yet the same.
Mr. Blue Sky, please tell us why.
Yeah. So we've got an atypical hero, a police box, regeneration and adaptability. In the 1970s, Doctor Who was literally earthbound, but fit in with the darker spirit of the times. Third Doctor, John Pertwee, brought an action sensibility to the role, although
Blagger's jealousy fact.
I'm just a jealous guy.
he didn't like the Daleks because they were too popular.
My autograph, who shall I make it out to?
Oh, for God's sake.
Wessel Cabbage is jealous.
John Pertwee left and was replaced by Tom Baker,
Jelly baby?
an actor who'd previously played the evil Russian monk Rat, lover of the Russian Queen. It was a shame how he carried on. Quite what the producers saw in Baker's boggle-eyed, grinningly maniacal performance remains that Tom Baker was one of the great Doctors and brought to the role, well, the boggle-eyed, grinningly maniacal thing, which comes in handy when waving your arms around in the TARDIS and saying everything's
fantastic. Brilliant.
Timey-wimey.
I'm not actually Malcolm Tucker.
Peter Capaldi. Tom Baker's Who was surreal, witty, sexy. He was going out with a posh Time Lord bird. And...
Master?
Oh, shove off back to Robot Monopoly, why don't you? I'd rather have the Robot Iron.
You wouldn't like the robot iron?
Baker and posh Time Lord bird Lalla Ward, who went out with him, who's now married to Richard Dawkins.
Prove it!
Also starred in the great Lost episode, Sharda.
Shadders? Omelangs?
Sharda's claim to fame is it was written by Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy author Douglas Adams. And
Blagger's literary fact.
when it was never completed, Adams reused the plot for Dirk Gently's holistic detective agency. And then Tom Baker left, pausing only to melt K9 down for spoons.
Master? Master?
And then...
And then?
This happened. The 80s, like Dealey Boppers, Monetarism and U2, Doctor Who was one of the worst things about the 1980s.
Did anyone see El Dorado last night? I want you to clap your hands if you did.
The costumes became more garish, the stories were weaker, budgets plummeted, and it all just went a bit wrong. For proof, let's just take a look at Richard Marson's recent biography of 1980s Doctor Who producer John Nathan Turner.
John swiftly nicknamed him Evil Annie, knowing he'd found someone he could make good use of. In modern parlance, he lost no time in making Levine his big...
Moving swiftly along, Colin, not Tom, Baker followed Vietnam vet Peter Davidson and was in turn followed by the most underrated Doctor, Sylvester McCoy, who had some good adventures like Remembrance of the Daleks. Set in 1963 and written by future fantasy author Ben Aronovich.
Hello.
It features this...
Blagger's Doctor Who will eat itself moment. This is BBC Television. The time is 5:15 and Saturday viewing continues with an adventure in the new science fiction series, Doctor...
Postmodern, but it was late in the evening and all the music seeping through for Doctor Who, and so in 1989, BBC controller Michael Grade, best known for presenting shows about music hall, cancelled Doctor Who forever, using the same foresight and imagination he brought to bear when he refused to broadcast Brass Eye.
I am a bit of a tosser.
There were many reasons given. Too expensive, too awful, the costumes, Bonnie Langford, but I think it was this record. Pray silence, please, for the song designed to save Doctor Who from the knacker's yard. Please welcome the aptly named Who Cares with Doctor in Distress.
Doctor in Distress.
shudder. And so, for an astonishing 16 years, there was no Doctor Who. 16 years? That's longer than Harry Styles has been alive.
What about the 1996 television movie, Master?
Why do you keep calling me Master? You're like Dobby the mental house elf.
Can I have a biscuit? You've got a biscuit in your pocket, haven't you?
No, I haven't.
Yes, you have. You've got a biscuit in your pocket. I can smell it.
All right. Catch. Shockingly, there was no Doctor... How did you eat that? You're not an actual dog.
It's okay. I'll sick it up later.
Okay. Shockingly, there was no Doctor Who for the show's 30th anniversary, although the show did continue to exist in the form of the legendary Big Finish audios, like The Dark Husband, starring Sylvester McCoy as the Doctor, and Sophie Aldred as Ace, written by me, fanzines and comics. And then...
And then,
Doctor Who came back. End of part 1.
Kids, be like Doctor Who and fight aliens with this authentic-seeming Doctor Who sonic screwdriver.
Quick, Doctor! The Ice Warriors are coming!
I'll fight them off with my sonic screwdriver.
Open doors, unscrew things sonically, emits a white light in a darkened setting. The Doctor Who sonic screwdriver.
Oh no! The Ice Warriors are here!
I wish I had a gun.
The Doctor Who sonic screwdriver from Ronco.
Before we look at TV's 21st century Doctor Who... That's TV 21. Nice, though. I thought it would be good to explode some canards.
Les canards sont morts!
Over the years, one or two urban myths have grown up about Doctor Who. So here's our very own...
All right, it's the Blagger's Doctor Who Urban Myth Rundown.
Number 5. Doctor Who is a kid show. It's not. Leaving aside the brain-stretching ideas, the grand notions and the sheer emotional power of modern Who, Doctor Who has the distinction of being too scary even for big grown-ups. Impress your creditors with this.
Scary fact.
John Pertwee's era, presided over by Barry Letts and Terence Dix, was also the most violent. More complaints were received about the episode Terror of the Autons than almost anything else.
Clean-up TV campaigner Mary Whitehouse. You wanted to see me.
Yes, I do. Now, Doctor Who is far too violent and I'm not happy.
Of course. Just sit in the transparent plastic chair, will
Right.
you? That's it.
Now, what are you going to do about it? It's suffocating me!
They should bring that back. Number 4. Terry Nation named the Daleks by looking at the spine of an encyclopedia labelled Dal to Lek. Yeah? Really? What the hell encyclopedia has Dal and Lek as entries? The encyclopedia made up old cobblerica.
Hello, Terry Nation speaking. A name for the new alien monsters. Let me look at the spine of this encyclopedia. Yes, let's call them the Donkey to Lesters. The Dunksters.
2 weeks later.
We are the Dunksters. Down before the Dunksters.
Number 3. Doctor Who isn't actually called Doctor Who. Well, yes and no. In at least one episode he's referred to as Doctor Who rather than the Doctor, and John Pertwee's Doctor had a car whose number plate read Who Won. WHO1. Which wouldn't make any sense if his name wasn't Who.
Doctor, why does your car have Who Won on its number plate?
Oh, it's my name, Derek Who.
Number 2. I'll let the annoying robot dog do this one.
A popular misconception is that the Doctor is only allowed to regenerate 12 times. In fact, this is a completely fictional supposition, based on a throwaway line in the 1976 serial The Deadly Assassin. In fact, the Doctor can do what the he likes.
And finally... At number 1, the greatest Doctor Who urban legend is...
If you want to escape from a Dalek, just go upstairs. Daleks can't climb stairs.
Tarquin!
That's right. The Daleks conquered the universe but couldn't climb stairs. They built cities and spaceships but couldn't climb stairs. They enslaved entire civilizations, but oh, you get the picture.
Yes, we see.
In the episode Remembrance of the Daleks, writer Ben Aronovich
Watcher
decided to sort this out once and for all by showing a Dalek climbing a staircase using a force field beam. And 21st century Doctor Who shows them levitating and flying and doing everything. Also, why would they want to go upstairs? They're an evil conquering master race, not your nan.
I have left my glasses in the bathroom again.
And, talking to Daleks, let's have a
Blagger's Guide to Doctor Who's Enemies.
The best Doctor Who enemies are, of course,
exterminate?
yes, the Daleks, because A, they're completely evil except when they're a sad Dalek, as in Dalek, the episode, or a sort of Squidward Dalek like Dalek Sec, and B, they look like no other monsters ever. Take Star Trek, which got so lazy they just stuck bits of plastic on people's foreheads to make them into aliens. But Daleks haven't got foreheads. They haven't even got heads, or arms, or legs, or torsos. Daleks literally look alien. They have got plungers, though.
Master,
Oh, what?
they're not plungers. They're telescopic manipulator arms which interface with Dalek interactive controls. And in the episode Dalek, a man got suffocated with one.
Daleks are great. There are Daleks with heads like massive eggs, Daleks with a big cannon instead of the telescopic manipulator arm, Daleks who can swim, and in the comics, which aren't big or canon, there were marsh Daleks who went about on stilts like corrupt herons. There was even a glass Dalek, which just sounds gorgeous. And of course, in recent years, we've had the fat, colourful ones, which were awful, although, like the wide-mouthed frog of legend,
You don't see many of those around here these days, do you?
then, of course, there's the Cybermen. Direct inspiration, possibly, for the Borg in Star Trek. The Cybermen used to sound like this.
Why, Doctor, you shall die.
And now they sound like this.
Delete. Delete.
Which brings me to my point. Delete.
Yeah, man. Delete. That's what we say. Delete.
Isn't that a bit like...
Exterminate!
No, man. It's totes my goats different. It's delete.
But you don't delete people.
Yeah, we do.
No, you don't. You saw their skulls open and pull their brains out.
No way.
Way?
That's sick. Oh, man. Weak like all the others.
Old school Who fans were also delighted to see the Ice Warriors come back. They don't have a catchphrase, but they're from Mars, so they're local, which is nice. Ice Warriors are also great because they're essentially lizards with cool built-in goggles, and because they're Ice Warriors, they talk like a cross between Gollum and Mr. Burns. There's loads and loads of great Doctor Who baddies. The Yeti were the ones I did hide behind the sofa for, the Autons are still the creepiest, and the Slitheen and the Adipose are top of the range. Yes, all right, Weeping Angels, bit overused, but a great idea.
I've escaped those huge killer plants. Now to leave the garden centre through its ornamental statue section. Oops, I blinked. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm in New York during Punk.
Great.
Fantastic. Brilliant.
Timey-wimey.
I feel we've strayed. But the greatest ever villain in Doctor Who is, of course, the other last of the Time Lords, apart from the Doctor himself and Romana and Susan and Doctor Who's mother, and I have no idea, there's a lot of them unaccounted for. But the official only other Time Lord is the Doctor's nemesis. The Master. Played superbly by many actors, including Roger Delgado from Zoo Gang, Derek Jacobi from Vicious, and John Sim from Life on Mars. The Master is the Joker to the Doctor's Batman, the sinister Tails to his moral heads, the cool villain whose TARDIS actually works. People keep talking about a female Doctor Who, but why not a female Master?
Claire Balding for the Master.
Or Talisa.
The possibilities are endless. But let's spare a thought for the runts of the litter, the losers of the Monsterverse, the official worst Doctor Who monsters ever. Only seen in 6 episodes from February 1965, the Web Planet serial features the Zarbi, terrifying insects who walked upright like men. I quite like them, and I probably wet myself when I saw them because they're giant insects. In fact, Stephen Moffat, bring back the Zarbi. Yeah.
Shall we move on?
It would be rude not to.
Doctor, where are we?
I don't know. We seem to be entirely surrounded by our own past.
Our own past?
Yes. I'm afraid we've become so self-referential, we're literally drowning in our own history. Oh, look! Here's a coat I wore in 1968.
And I'm wearing a kilt. Why am I wearing a kilt?
We need to reverse the polarity.
What does that mean?
Nothing, it's just a thing Doctor Who says.
Doctor Who? Who's Doctor Who?
Never mind. Oh, Cyberman!
Why have they got cloth faces?
It's a postmodern recipe. Coming soon to DVD, Doctor Who and the self-reference of the Daleks.
After Michael Grade had killed off Doctor Who,
I really am a bell ringer.
Nobody was more surprised than everybody when in 2003, Russell T Davies, who'd previously been known for... was put in charge of the all-new, up-to-date, sexy, big-budget Doctor Who. With Christopher One Series U lightweight Eccleston as the Doctor, and Billy... Billy Piper as Rose. New Who... New Who was to be hypercritical, absolutely freaking fantastic. It was funny, it was scary, it was clever, and it was emotional. Suddenly Doctor Who was about people who loved each other, about loss, about the pain of separation, and there were Daleks!
Is it me? Oh, it is.
And Cybermen and Ice Warriors and Autons and everything except the poor bloody Zarbi. And then Eccleston was replaced by David Tennant, Rose was replaced by Martha, and then Catherine Tate.
Yeah, but no.
Nearly. And Doctor Who, after all the cheap shots, cheap shows, hammy cameos and terrible costumes.
I'm a Time Lord, which is why I'm wearing a stick of celery. An actual stick of celery.
Became the best show in the world. Again. Even, and oh how it pains my mortal soul to say it, even K9 was great.
1-0, Master.
And then there was Matt Smith. He was only 7, but he was great. And John Hurt for some reason. But next, we've got a new Doctor. Peter Capaldi. From... Local Hero. Great film. And as the Grateful Dead once said...
What a long, strange
trip it's been.
So, stun your glum chums with this fun run through...
Blagger's 1-minute guide to Doctor Who.
When it started, Doctor Who was like horrible histories, but without the jokes.
Those Aztecs.
Oh, where's my camera?
Then it was like the Avengers, but without the kinky sex.
Let's all go back to mine.
I've got the chin.
I've got the eyes.
Then it was an action-heavy eco-drama.
Take that, Silurian scum.
Then it was witty, but with robots.
I have just returned from Neptune.
Very flat, Neptune.
And then it was the 80s.
Doctor, are your clothes drunk?
And then it was...
Fantastic. Brilliant. Timey-wimey.
And everyone was related.
So I'm married to River Song, which makes Amy Pond my mother-in-law.
They could still do that. The Doctor's mother-in-law. I'd watch it. But now, like I said, we have a new Doctor, Peter Capaldi from... Local Hero. And who knows what the future may bring.
Really fat Daleks that nobody likes?
No. And there we have it. 50 years of Doctor Who. Unique, exciting, hilarious, scary, makes you cry. I hope it never ends. Hooray for Doctor Who. Oh, one more thing. Jenkins.
Sir.
Chap with wings there. 5 rounds rapid. Bye! Doctor Who, Doctor Who, Doctor Who, Doctor Who.
Ah, yes, the Blagger's Guide to Doctor Who was written and presented by David Quantick. The voices were provided by Lewis Macleod and the gorgeous Kate O'Sullivan. It was produced by Anna Harrison and Frank Sterling at Unique for BBC Radio 2.